For thousands of years, we've looked to the natural world, to plants for healing. From ancient Ayurvedic texts to the supplements on our shelves today, this green pharmacy has been a huge part of human health. But now, the very things we rely on are facing a major crisis, one that really threatens their future and ours. So, let's get into it. I mean, just think about that for a second. We're talking about systems like Ayurveda that have depended on medicinal herbs for over 4,000 years. Whether it's for a common cold or managing something more serious, plants were our very first medicine cabinet. And this isn't just some quaint piece of history, it's a living, breathing tradition that millions of people depend on right this very minute. But here's the catch. Our modern-day obsession with these herbal remedies, this huge boom in demand, has pushed this ancient system right to the edge. It's created two really serious problems that are a danger to both the plants themselves and to the people who use them. All right, so first up, herbal medicine's big comeback. To really get a handle on the crisis, you have to understand the incredible scale of this thing. We're not talking about some niche wellness trend here. This is a massive worldwide phenomenon. Just look at this number from the World Health Organization, 85%. That is the percentage of people in developing countries who rely on traditional plant-based medicine. So for the majority of the world's population, this isn't some lifestyle choice. It's their main source of healthcare. The stakes are incredibly high. And when you have that kind of demand coming from both traditional use and this booming global market for natural products, well, our planet's own pharmacy is being stretched to its absolute breaking point. And that brings us to the two big crises. Okay, section 2, the scarcity and the fakes. We're basically facing two critical issues at the exact same time. The first one is about the environment, scarcity. And the second one is all about consumer safety, the flood of fakes and dodgy products on the market. So here's the core of that scarcity problem. About 2/3 of the 50,000 or so medicinal plants we use are just plucked from the wild. We are literally pulling our medicine out of the earth way faster than it can grow back, and it's pushing a lot of these really important plants towards extinction. Now, this second problem. This one might be even more worrying if you're a consumer. With this absolute flood of herbal products out there, how do you have any idea if what's printed on the label is what's actually in the bottle? That's the identity crisis. And this table here really shows you how common this is. Let's just take one example, Brahmi. It's a famous Ayurvedic herb used for brain health. The real plant is Bacopa monnieri, but it often gets swapped out with a totally different plant, Centella asiatica. I mean, when they're ground up into a powder, they might look alike, but their chemical effects are completely different. So best case scenario, you're taking something that doesn't work. Worst case, it could actually be harmful. So what's the solution? How do we fix this? Well, let's start with the supply problem. The answer is pretty wild. It's found where botany meets biotechnology, and where scientists are pretty much building better plants right in the lab. This quote from the research really nails it. The main advantage is creating a continuous, reliable source of these medicinal compounds. Just imagine that, having them available on demand whenever we need them, no matter the season or the climate. But how on earth is that even possible? Well, it's a process that basically creates a plant factory. Here's how it goes down. First, scientists pick a plant that's valuable. Maybe it's rare or just grows really slowly. Second, they use this special bacterium, you can think of it as a tiny natural engineer, to deliver some new genetic instructions to the plant. Third, this causes the plant to grow something called hairy roots. Weird name, I know. And finally, these roots get put into a lab bioreactor. And they just become these super efficient little factories, churning out huge amounts of the exact chemical we need. And the results? They're absolutely incredible. Take a look at this chart. This is what happened when they used the technique on the Madagascar periwinkle. This is the plant that gives us powerful anti-cancer drugs. They saw production of these key alkaloids just skyrocket. We're talking increases of over 120, 130, even 188% increase. This isn't just a cool idea, it's a proven way to create a stable, sustainable supply of life-saving medicine. All right, so that's the supply problem. But what about the fakes? To tackle the identity crisis, scientists have basically become genetic detectives.
They're using this amazing toolkit of what they call omics technologies to prove if an herbal product is the real deal or not.
The first tool in the box is DNA barcoding. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Think of a supermarket scanner, but for genes. By looking at a very specific, short piece of DNA, scientists can get a 100% positive ID on a plant species. And the amazing part is, it works even if the plant has been ground into a powder. There's no hide. But, what happens if you have two species that are super closely related and their barcodes look almost the same? Well, for an even stronger level of proof, scientists came up with scar markers. You can think of these as a highly specific, unique key that's designed to identify just one medicinal plant and ignore all the lookalikes. They're really the gold standard for quality control.
This just shows you how the tools themselves get better over time. An older method, called rapid, was fast and cheap, but it wasn't always reliable. Two different labs could test the same sample and get two different results, which is a big problem. So scar markers were created specifically to fix that. They're designed from the ground up to be incredibly reproducible, so everyone gets the same correct answer every single time.
But what if you need to know more than just what the species is? What if you want a full profile of all the chemicals inside? For that, scientists use something called LC-MS metabolomics. It's a powerful technique that separates out and identifies every single active chemical in a plant. It creates this unique chemical fingerprint that tells you not just what the plant is, but what it's made of. And this is just unbelievably useful. With LC-MS, you can see exactly how much of the key active compounds are in a product. For example, you can check for the ginkgolides in ginkgo, or the berberine in guduchi, or the catechins in green tea. This doesn't just guarantee that it's authentic, it also confirms its potency. You know for sure that it has what it needs to be effective. So, bringing this all together, what does this actually mean for the future of medicine? What we're witnessing is this incredible fusion of ancient wisdom and really advanced modern science. I think the biggest takeaway here is that this isn't about choosing between a 4,000-year-old tradition and a modern lab. The future is about blending them together. It's about using our amazing technology to preserve, protect, and even improve on that tradition. We're taking that ancient knowledge of what works, and we're applying modern science to figure out why it works and how to make it available to everybody safely and sustainably. And what we get out of that is a whole new generation of green medicine. By combining these two worlds, we really get the best of both. We get herbal remedies that are proven to be safe, that are optimized to be effective, and are made in a way that actually protects our planet's precious resources. And it all leaves us with this one really fascinating thought. For all of human history, we've had to go out and search for our medicine in the wild. But now, by tapping into the plant's own biology, we have the power to actually grow it with a level of precision we've never had before. It really makes you wonder, could the future of medicine not be something we find, but something we grow?